So we want to start off with just a sine wave. Let me first add a note here. As always, I like to work in F. And yeah, let's add analog. And this is gonna be, again, as mentioned, our low pulse. Let's turn it down. And practically the most important thing that you should mess around with is the LFO. And we want to make some nice sequence thingy. Maybe something like this. Let's see how it sounds. You just want to turn the sync on. And let's check it with the gain. So if we hold right click, we can choose the exact amount. And in case you can't hear it, let me open up the so now what I like to do is maybe start with some beat crushing, and this gives it a really cool feeling. And if you go down, you can get sort of like already kind of like a heavy sound, you know. Let's turn it up. Also, one thing to keep in mind is you can control everything by dragging it, and if you hold control you can easily snap it to the grid, so you have an easy time of creating these shapes, in case you use faceplant for this, of course. So yeah, something like this is pretty cool. Let's see if with unison, it's probably not gonna be cool, but yeah. I'm gonna add some sine distortion. Also, it's gonna take some time till we get like a decent result with all of the different sounds, so just keep that in mind. Let's EQ it a bit, just the low end, so it's not that messy. And I want to maybe give more character to these nice peaks. Another cool thing is that you could link these filters individually with the modulators from the synth. So if I would add another LFO, maybe I could do something like this, but let's link it with this already existing one, and you get the idea. So this is pretty fun to do as well. Once you start adding delay, you really start to get a nice groove depending on the envelope that you created and the amount of like dry and wet signal of the delay also matters. But yeah, maybe we want less of these peaks. Something like this is cool. Now I'm gonna just mess a little bit with the convolver in case we get something cool. So it's really all about experimenting, you know. But we don't want to get too lost in just, you know, one preset. So this is kind of cool for now. And maybe let's add another one, and this time maybe we can use like a saw wave and do something that's more on the mids, you know. So let's just do another note like this. And one thing also to keep in mind is that you should like do more than one low pulse or more than one mid pulse, and we'll get to it in this video as well, but just don't just do one sound, you know. So yeah, let's maybe do a new shape here. Maybe we want it a little bit slower this time or something. Let's do something like this for now. Again, sync. %, again, so we stay on default. You could go 100 if you want, but yeah. And let's start by adding maybe some noise, and we'll start to add distortion and delays again in a moment. Let's try phase. It almost feels like it has too much release, so let's make them shorter. So as you can see, it's really all about fine-tuning. Let's add a flanger as well. Now let's do delay. We don't need it for now. The sound is pretty messy, so I think if we have a filter like this, it's gonna be much better with the first pulse that we made. Oops. Let's try to add it before the delay. And let's link this LFO to the cutoff. Transient shaper also helps with these sounds sometimes, so you can really give more boost to the transients. Let's try to mess around with the envelope some more now. Yeah, this is nice with unison as well, but let's leave it off for now, and let's see how it sounds with both together. It's gonna be a bit loud probably. Less cutoff. It's probably another version of delay or something. Let's first EQ this a bit. I think it's a bit better now. I want to add some kicks. These are basically, you can think of them as part of the low pulses. Let's find something that's punchy. This is nice, but let's see something else. This will work. Now you could also just do like a quick 2-bar thingy, but let's see how it sounds. It's a bit too much like techno or something. Let's do some weird pattern. Let's copy this, maybe delete this one and a few of these short ones as well at the end. Yeah, this is cool. Now with the delay it's gonna be even better probably. I wanna first EQ it. Set the delay. Let's mess a little bit with this. I wanted to add a different delay before, I think. I should add one more with a different speed. Let's first see if this disperser does anything. Okay. Now let's do another one. Because here's the thing, like you wanna do a lot of different rhythms, and the more you do, the more full the intro is gonna sound, and you know, you still wanna fill up a lot of the empty spots, even if you intend to use this at the intro or breakdown sections. So let's do one that's maybe a little faster or something like this. And I'm gonna change it to a saw again, and just link it to the gain again. set convolution right away. Maybe we get like a cool tone. Let's try to, I don't know. Maybe we can link this to the cutoff. Let's play it down. Let's see how it sounds. And we're finally getting somewhere. So now let's do some layering by resampling things. So I will just bounce the first two presets to audio. And now let's try to, I don't know, stretch it, pitch it, and let's see what we can get out of it. So this is the first preset that we made. Let's try to stretch it out even further, perhaps. Let's add some EQ, because we don't need all this low crap. And maybe there's even too much of the beat crushing, but I still really like these, almost like percussions. Although with the amount of other rhythmic sounds that we have, I don't think we're gonna hear much of this, so we could maybe, let me just do this, maybe we could transform this into something much higher in terms of pitch. Let's see. It does sound kinda cool, but let's try the pitch thingy. these very top end noises with the original one. Something like this. Now, lastly, let's create some brasses. The concept here is really simple. All we need is one or two saw waves, and I'm gonna use wavetables this time, so maybe we can also automate the position a bit and stuff. So let's add unison, and we want to add a bunch of more voices, and yeah, let's spread it out. And we want to use like a longer envelope this time, so we don't need sync this time, we can use the normal time. Let's just add a F note. And we need to make this much longer. As you can hear, the concept of the sound is kind of like a Reese bass, if you think about it. Maybe let's use the second envelope on the frames, and maybe a little bit of the detuning, maybe some spread. I'm also gonna automate this filter in a bit. I'm gonna use a multipass now, so I'm gonna add reverb, and I don't want to affect the low end, so let's turn it all the way up. We need a lot of decay. Let's add distortion as well. I think it needs to be even longer. Can also use glide, but I'll show you in a moment. I prefer to do it in audio. So something, this is kinda okay. Resonator also can really help out to kinda get a string on top. And you can play around with the decay and intensity as well. Let's do the filter. Let's just try to see. You can, like, convolvers are like so good for these sounds, especially once you start layering things. We're gonna turn it off for now, but yeah, keep convolvers in your mind as well. Maybe a bit more sustain or something. So something like this. Let's try it. I could make a macro for this decay. This is also one of the things that maybe I didn't really do here. It's really cool to make a bunch of macros. So once you actually start to place things in your playlist, you know, you can maybe automate a bunch of stuff as well. So yeah, now let's maybe... Yeah, this is the thing. It's alright to do it in the piano roll, but I honestly prefer to just do it directly in audio. So let me show you. So maybe something like this, you know, so it goes down for one semi. Oh, why is it not working? Oh, what's happening? Come on, Bitwig. Oh, now this really depends on the track itself, but you get the idea. It's super cool to do stuff like this. And maybe let's add some reverb. And at this point it's all about layering, you know, again. One thing also that I suggest is I use some actual like brasses and strings, you know. But this is also a really nice way of like having a nice control of everything, and yeah. So let's try to... this is really nice. Let's go lower with this one. I mean in the format at least. Now let's see how it sounds with the stuff that we were doing. Okay, so we don't need this for now.